sexy boys. I'm not your boy toy.
Well, it's that time again, my friends. WrestleMania weekend is just around the corner. And like the last 2 years, it's going to be held over 2 nights. And what's going to be happening over those 2 nights? Who knows? That's what we're here right now to talk about. Today, I'm going to be talking about my predictions for WrestleMania 38. So, let's cut the trash talk and let's get into those matches, shall we? Let's start with Saturday night and the Raw Women's Championship match with Becky Lynch versus Bianca Bellaire. This match has a solid build and it pretty much dates back to last year's SummerSlam when Becky beat Bellaire in like 10 seconds. And just like everyone else, I feel that it shouldn't have gone down that way. But on the other hand, it works, and somehow Bianca Belaire has managed to stay strong for all this time. But after what happened on Monday Night Raw, this feud has got to boiling point. So I think we're in for a cracker here, folks. For me, I can see Bianca Belaire walking out with the title. I think it's about time Becky Lynch dropped the belt. So yeah, Bianca Belaire for the win. Next up, we got some tag team action with Rey and Dominic Mysterio versus The Miz and Logan Paul. Look, I get it, you want as many eyes on your product as possible, so you look to celebrity endorsements. But you got Logan Paul, who is kinda known for acting like a bit of a knob. To be fair, he does look like he actually cares about wrestling, so when it comes to that, I would take 1,000 Logan Pauls over one Jeremy Piven any day of the week.
And if you lose, we will ban you from the Summerfest.
And I think he'll take his fair share of bumps. But also I can see this match going one way with Logan Paul somehow turning on The Miz. Because let's face it, guests on WWE TV don't stay heel for long. So for me, I see Dominic and Rey taking a W. Now imagine being Rey Mysterio, knowing that this might be your final WrestleMania match.
Shit!
Next up we got Drew McIntyre versus Happy Corbin. Can we just end this now, please? This feud has been going on for far too long. I mean, Drew is great. He's doing everything he can to make this all work. And the injury angle was fine, but Corbin and Madcap Moss are rubbing me the wrong way. I genuinely believe Corbin doesn't deserve half the shit he gets. Because what's happened with him really isn't his fault, he's just doing his best. It's just the WWE should stop lumbering him with this crap. And now it's all about Drew's sword because Corbin stole it on Monday Night Raw this week. So I strongly believe that Corbin's going to get a claymore to the chops after Madcap Moss up somehow. So Drew over, let's move on. Now it's time for the Smackdown Tag Team Championships with the Usos versus Shinsuke Nakamura and Rick Boogs. Now even though this one hasn't got much of a build to it, this could be a fun one. I think all 4 men here could make it work. Also, are you guys saying boo or boog? Personally, I think he's alright. He hasn't done anything wrong by me. He's quite capable in the ring. And he has good chemistry with Nakamura. But I think the Usos might win this one here. But this is WWE. And Vince don't give a More tag team action now, with The New Day, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods versus Sheamus and Ridge Hollands. Now I don't think this match would have got on the WrestleMania card if Ridge Holland didn't legitimately drop Big E on his neck. And we gotta get Sheamus on the card somehow. There's not much for you to say about this one. I'm just gonna say Sheamus and Holland going over on this one, with some shenanigans from Butch. Pete Dunne must be livid.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer?
Now, this is an interesting one. Seth Rollins versus a mystery opponent. So for the past month or so, Seth Rollins has been driving himself crazy, trying to find his way onto WrestleMania. He's failed at becoming tag team champions, be the one to chat to Stone Cold, or to fight Edge at WrestleMania. But all we had to do was ask.
You stupid, stupid bastard!
Vince McMahon himself told Seth that he's got a match at WrestleMania, but he doesn't know who's going to be his opponent until he gets in the ring with him. So, who's it going to be? Damian Priest? Finn Balor? Ricochet? Or could it be the one on everybody's mind? That's right, I'm talking about Scott Steiner.
Fat asses!
Now I'm only pulling your leg. Of course it's Cody Rhodes. There have been articles everywhere that he's signed with WWE and he's going to show up here, there, your mum's house. But if he's going to make a return, there's no better place to do it than on the grandest stage in them all, am I right? And most likely, win. And if that's the case, I hope Cody has fixed that throne very quickly.
Quick, get it back up, hurry!
Unless they throw us a curveball and give us Rollins versus John Cena, which, to be fair, doesn't sound too bad. Also, what happened to Damian Priest and Finn Balor? They got over that pretty quickly. Anyway, mystery opponent, whoever it is going to win. Right, let's move away from the wrestling and let's talk about the KO show with special guest Stone Cold Steve Austin. Over the past few weeks, Kevin Owens has been completely all over Texas. And like Seth Rollins, he's a bit cheesed off that he's got nothing to do at WrestleMania. So he takes matters into his own hands and calls out the Texas Rattlesnake to be on his show this Saturday. And Austin rides out in his buggy to accept his invitation. Also, I've just realised that this is basically the SpongeBob episode where Sandy goes back to Texas. So I think what will happen here is that KO will talk trash about Texas. Then Stone Cold comes out, he gives it back in equal fashion. A brawl will break out and then Stone Cold will deliver a Stone Cold Stunner. And crack open some cold ones. It's simple, but that's what it needs to be. Because once you hear that glass shatter, that roof is going to be blown off that place. And a Stone Cold Stunner will cap off that segment quite nicely. Right, next will be what I think will be the main event of Saturday night, with the Smackdown Women's Championship between Charlotte Flair and Ronda Rousey. So Ronda Rousey returned to the Royal Rumble and won it, so she gets to main event at WrestleMania this Saturday. And to be honest, I think Ronda and Becky would have made a little bit more sense. But hey, what you gonna do? Plus, I didn't expect to see her back. Anyway, going into this, Ronda doesn't just want to win the title, but she wants to make Charlotte tap out, which Charlotte has done multiple times throughout her career. So that means very little. But this one could be a decent main event. Like Lynch and Bellaire, this could be a wild one. Full on hard strikes and submission holds. And as far as I know, I think Ronda's going to be sticking around. So Ronda for the win. Right, that's Saturday done. Let's move on to Sunday. And oh god, this is a mouthful, isn't it? It's the women's tag team title match with Queen Zelina and Carmella versus Sasha Banks and Naomi versus Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan versus Shayna Baszler and Natalya. This is one of those matches where they threw everything at the wall and hoping it would stick, because I don't think they thought about this one at all. Not to say this won't be a good match, but it's definitely overbooked, especially with the talent they've got on show here. I mean, adding Ripley and Morgan is just about fine, but Baszler and Natalya, that's a bit too random, isn't it? Anyway, since Sasha Banks is in this, I'm guessing her and Naomi will become the new tag team champions. Next up, it's Anything Goes, with Sami Zayn versus Johnny Knoxville. I'm not joking. This is the second celebrity match this weekend, and all I can say is, why? So Knoxville has been getting involved in Zayn's business for a while now, even at one point costing him the Intercontinental title. So a guy who gets hit in the bollocks for a living goes to WrestleMania, but the Intercontinental title doesn't. Nah, I'm just kidding. I love you, Johnny, really. In saying that, I think Johnny Knoxville will get a good arse kick in here, but Sami will still make him look good somehow. But as entertaining as it is, I have a feeling that Sami Zayn is going to lose this one. Sami deserves better. There, I said it. He should have been a WWE champion by now. But who knows, it might be the same case as Kofi Kingston. Only time will tell. Next up, we've got Pat Mcafee versus Austin Theory. So Vince and Theory have been having a bit of fun at McAfee's expense. And McAfee rightly doesn't take this one lying down. I genuinely like Pat McAfee. Other than Corey Graves, I think he's the best commentator the company has had in years. And if you've seen his match with Adam Cole, he did incredibly well in that match. So this one is going to be very interesting to watch. But as much as I like to see Pat McAfee get his own back on Austin Theory, Theory is still an upcoming star and he does have a lot of potential. So I'm guessing that he's going to be the winner here. And now time for the Raw Tag Team titles with RK Bro versus the Street Profits versus Alpha Academy. Honestly, out of the two multi-tag team matches, this one is the hardest to justify. I mean, as much as I like Gable and Otis, they really shouldn't have been in this match. I would have preferred it if it was just RK Bro and the Street Profits. Again, it feels overbooked. But then again, it shouldn't be a bad match. I think RK Bro will retain their titles here. Riddle and Orton are just too brilliant to stop right now. Next up, we've got Edge versus AJ Styles. Now, I think we've got another cracker on our hands here, folks. Edge has made the challenge for anyone to step up against him at WrestleMania, and AJ answered. But Edge unexpectedly turned heel. Now he's gone all dark, especially in his promos. And now he's got a new entrance theme, also by Alter Bridge, which is pretty damn sweet to be honest with you. Every promo that Edge delivered is on point, but in my opinion, this feud is a little one-sided. And I don't think AJ has got the right amount of time to respond to any of this. Because on Edge's side, they put so much effort into making him the most badass person there is. But with AJ, here's a microphone. Do something with it. But still, there's no reason for this match not to be great. But if I had to pick a winner, I'd say AJ Styles. Edge doesn't really need the win. Plus, we still don't know how long he's going to be sticking around for. Whilst AJ, he could be doing this for another 10 years. Just like Jerry Lynn. So yeah, AJ for the win. Next up, we've got some big boys clashing here. Omos versus Bobby Lashley. Now, I'm not expecting a technical masterpiece, but give me two giants clashing in the ring and I'm a happy boy. Omos has been dominating Monday Night Raw, and this week saw the return of Bobby Lashley after an injury. And what does he do? He challenges the biggest guy there, and actually managing to take him off his feet for the first time ever. Should they have saved this moment for Mania? Probably, but who cares? I think this is where they're going to have their Slam Andre moment, and Lashley could definitely pull it off. And with that being said, I think Lashley will be the one to finally pin Omos. But I have no doubt that Omos will stay strong after this match. Because I said it last year, and I'll say it again, because Omos was big. And now it's time for the big one. It's winner takes all, where both the Universal and the WWE title will be on the line, with Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar. Now, out of the other matches they've had at Mania, this is the one I have been most excited about. Because the build to this is absolutely crazy. But because how could you not get excited when someone crashed a forklift into a car? What's also great about this is that Brock Lesnar has been showing up consistently on WWE TV, maybe even twice a week sometimes. Say what you will about Lesnar, but this is true commitment. Whether he's throwing people around and ripping doors off cars, or just delivering promos, which I believe are pretty good by the way. And Roman Reigns has been Roman Reigns. What else do you want? But this match is very important because both the Universal and the WWE titles are merging. This is a dramatic change. So making the right call to crown an undisputed champion is very important here, especially with the two men involved. I can see this match being a brutal affair. I mean, blood spillage is a possibility after what happened at Madison Square Garden. So if I had to pick a winner, I'd go with Reigns. They keep saying that he's the longest reigning champion since Bruno Sammartino. And I think that's the direction they're going in, which in my opinion is the correct one. Except maybe not as long, because Bruno was like champion for 10 years or so. Wrestling fans don't have that kind of patience anymore. So, Roman Reigns over to become the undisputed champion. And those are my predictions for WrestleMania 38. I want to know what you guys think. What do you think is going to happen at WrestleMania? Will there be surprise returns? And will there be Stardust? Comment down below and let me in the know. And that's about everything for today, my friends, and thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like what you saw, make sure you like, share and subscribe, hit that bell for notifications, and follow me on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. I've been Titch, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care and have a great WrestleMania weekend.